the first prediction we're going to look at is where do we think Tottenham are going to finish this season? So I want you to let us know in the chat where you think Tottenham are going to finish this season. Sim has gone for 6th.
Gone for 6th.
I've gone for 5th.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. We're going to have to be a bit patient with this team. I think it's still going to wait till we're free flowing. We're obviously getting new signings through the door. I don't think we're going to be fully ready for the season. Not to say that we're going to start the season and we're going to be getting battered and losing every game, but I don't think it's going to be, we're starting the season on fire. We're coming. I think we're going to have to grow into this season. That's what I feel under De Zerbi. And I'm looking at the other teams that we're facing for that Champions League spots, and they just seem a bit more ready. They've got better forward lines right now. I've seen United just made a really good signing with Baleba. I think they're looking a bit more ready to start the season. So just because I know everyone's got business, but I think our forward line is so lackluster. I think it's going to cost us a few points. But once we get if we can get these signings in, like depending on who they are, there's a lot of unknowns at the moment. Obviously, a lot can change, but right now, I just find us competing for 6th. I think we're going to have a leg up on a lot of these other middling teams that are being in Europe, and I think that they're going to suffer for it. So there's an advantage there to get above them. So I'm not worried about maybe us as much being in the middle of the pack, but yeah, I think at the moment I'm struggling to see us over 6th.
Yeah, I've gone for 5th, and you say that Spurs are going to have to work their way into the season, but I think that's the case for the majority of teams this season. Arsenal is settled. Man City, we just spoke about Man City, and then going into the season, they're going to have to work their way into the season with Enzo Maresca. Same with Liverpool. Andoni Iraola is a notoriously slow starter, so I think they're going to have to work their way into the season. Chelsea with a brand new Xabi Alonso, they're going to have to work their way through the season. So I think the majority of teams are actually going to have to do that. I think the last 7 games of last year is going to stand Roberto De Zerbi in good stead because he's known the majority of players coming in, and obviously the signings that he's made is going to add to that. And yeah, we need to do major work on our forward line, and me saying we're going to finish 5th is me saying that we're going to get the job done basically and get the players. If we don't get the players, then we're finishing nowhere near 5th, in my opinion. Like if we start the season, if we don't do this business, let's say we don't bring in Gakpo or Savinho, and who knows who we bring in, then I think we could finish like 7th, 8th, around that kind of spot. But I'm kind of banking on the fact that Spurs are going to get this business done. So I think Spurs can finish 5th this season. I really do. And that will be a fantastic... After finishing 17th, going straight into 5th, you're looking at Manchester United last year. They finished, 16th or 15th the year before and went straight into 3rd because 1 game a week. Don't discredit 1 game a week because that is massive.
Yeah, it's big. Massive. But I just think they've all got, even their teams right now, I feel like they've got a first 11 stronger than ours, all the other teams, despite the fact that they've all got work to do. Like very few of them have urgent work to improve very key areas in their forward line like we do. It's true, but new managers need to work out their system and need to work out a lot of things. So it doesn't mean it's not going to be a slow burner for them, even if the kind of first 11 is of high quality. Yeah. But this is my opinion. I think I'm going for 6th. Carabao.
Yeah, Carabao Cup.
Winners.
I've gone for the winners. We're going to be lifting a trophy in February time or March time, whenever it is. Sim's gone for the quarterfinals. Where do you guys think we're going to finish in the Carabao Cup? And I'll tell you why I think we're going to be the winners of the Carabao Cup. Because, first of all, I said we're going to be winners of the Carabao Cup last season. But this year we actually are going to be the winners because I think that, like I mentioned before, I do think teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Man City, maybe Arsenal to a much lesser extent. Actually, I'd put Arsenal out of that. But all the other teams that are kind of the classic top 6, they've got to focus on Europe at the same time. They've got new managers. They're going to have slow burners. We've literally just got the Carabao Cup and the league. Obviously, you can say the same about Chelsea as well. So I actually think one of us and Chelsea are going to win the Carabao Cup, and I'm just backing Spurs.
See, I think it comes too early for us. I think if we get drawn, away at a good team early on the Carabao, I don't know if we'll have enough to get through. So I think we'll probably go out around the quarters, but I'm more hopeful for the other domestic cup because I think that's when the difference in Europe might settle in.
So FA Cup, Sim's gone to lose in the final, and I've gone
Heartbreak.
for quarterfinals. Sim's gone for a FA Cup final defeat.
I think as well, post-January, maybe we get some more business done in, then potentially we'll have to wait and see. But I think when these I predict a lot of the English teams are going to go far. And I think they're going to go far. And I think once that kicks in and we're going to be one game a week and we're going to have full, if we're in the FA Cup latter stages, we're going to have full focus on that, whereas other teams might have other distractions. So I think we can go really far in the FA Cup at that point, and hopefully these new attackers, if we get them, they're more settled in, whatever, and Tottenham are free-flowing at this point. But I feel like if we play a final against a really big team, I just get a feeling it's heartbreak. So I'm going for a final.
Yeah, I just feel like the bigger teams are going to be more settled as well come the latter stage of the season. I just think one of kind of Arsenal, Liverpool, maybe Chelsea, maybe even Man City go and win the FA Cup. And I think we'll go out in the quarters. I just think it's more likely for us to catch a few teams off guard early on in the season for the Carabao Cup than it is to maybe new managers to work things out towards the end of the season for the FA Cup. That's just kind of where I'm at. But in terms of player predictions, let's get into it. Player of the season. Who is your player of the season? Let us know in the comment section below. Early predictions for player of the season. Sim has gone for Sandro Tonali, and I have gone for James Maddison.
Wow, that is a surprise. Didn't see that one coming, honestly. Maddison.
I've gone for Maddison. I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Explain
yourself.
I'll tell you why James Maddison. 'Cause not only is he chomping at the bit, not only is he going to have a big kind of role within this team. Oh, you switched it around. I think he's going to have a slow burn to this season. He's going to work his way in to his fitness and everything else. And then when it comes to it, maybe in November time, maybe it's December time, maybe even January time, when he clicks into gear, he is going to click into gear in such a big way. And I think come the end of the season, everyone is going to look at him as the most impactful player for Spurs this season. He's got the quality. We know before he got his big injury, he was so pivotal for us in terms of assists. He can get goals as well. And he is so pivotal to this team. He's going to be central. Like once he gets back fit, I think he's going to be our most important player.
I really pray you're right. I can't see him starting like loads of games, to be honest, this season. I think he's going to have a big role to play, especially as the season goes on, don't get me wrong, but I can't see him starting like 20 games playing over an hour. I see it unlikely, but
he will.
I hope so.
In the first 2 or 3 months in the season, that will be his role. But come December time, come January time, he'll be fit enough to start.
I went with Tonali just because I feel like he's obviously so durable. He's going to play every game. He's going to make such a difference to our midfield. And I feel like he's one of those players where he's going to make such a difference defensively. He's going to add that quality in midfield from his technical ability, but also he's going to be making these big challenges, his big ball recoveries every game. I think these bigger games as well, he's going to step up and really be very noticeable. And I think because he's such a durable player and he's going to be so consistent playing every game, I think come the end of the season, he's going to be like very acknowledged by the Tottenham fans that he's just had such a consistent season. He's played throughout the whole season. He's made such a big difference. So I don't know if he's going to be our best player, but I feel like he'll be our player of the season.
Most appreciated.
Yeah, most appreciated player. And I feel like he'll be the player that come the end of the season, you'll think back in your mind thinking who's pretty much had the most consistent season, who's been there from start to finish and just played every game to a really good level. And I think Tonali's going to stick out in everyone's mind.
Could very well be. I mean, I was kind of in my head playing around with a few different options for player of the season. I landed on Maddison, but the other two players who I had written down and then I changed it for Maddison was Mohamed Kudus and also Mickey van der Ven. I think Mickey van der Ven is going to have a hell of a season this year. I really do. And, no, really mentioned Pedro Porro as well.
Yeah, I thought I was actually flowing with Fernandez as well, but didn't go
Fernandez,
for player of the season.
He was on my list as well.
Yeah.
Let's go into young player of the season. So this is a player that is 21 or under. So there's actually not that many options to play around with the young player of the year. I want to know from you guys in the comment section below, who do you think will be young player of the season? We've both picked the same player here, and I don't think this is a surprise because we've both gone for Mathys Tel. Obviously, he's had a fantastic pre-season. He looks like he's chomping at the bit. He looks like he wants to make an impact. He looks like he potentially will make an impact. And when you're judging him against the kind of other under 21 players, you've basically got a choice between him, Gray, Bergvall, and then the others like Luca Williams-Barnett or Mikey Moore. That's pretty much your only options.
Yeah, which is not bad. I mean, there's a lot of good young players there, but I went for Tel because I think he's looking so much more confident in pre-season. I think De Zerbi is going to get the best out of him. I think whether he starts every game or even comes off the bench, I think he's going to be chomping at the bit to make a difference. And I think he's got the quality to show a different side to himself. I think we're already seeing signs of it in pre-season. So, yeah, I think as a young player, it kind of depends if Bergvall stays or not, because I was toying with him. But I think even if Bergvall stays, I still see Tel making more of an impact than the other young players. So, yeah, went for Mathys Tel.
Next up is surprise package. So I had a problem with surprise package because I was just looking at all the players and I just didn't feel like there was a standout candidate at all for surprise package. Sim's gone for Andy Robertson. Why Andy Robertson?
I've gone for Andy Robertson because I think there was a very lukewarm reception to his announcement when he was signed. There's still a lot of people not sure. Even people now are questioning: is he going to be number one left back? Is he not? And all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I think he's going to get plenty of assists. He's still got that incredible delivery. I think he's going to establish himself for this season as our number one, as our main left back. And I think he's going to have a really solid season. I think he's going to iron out of some of the physical problems he's had in pre-season. He's going to work that out. And this guy, you got to remember, for many, many years has been one of the best left backs in the world. In Europe and the Premier League. So I think this guy knows how to play at this level and at a very consistent level. Even last season at times he was still pretty good. So I think people are going to be suitably impressed with Robertson this season. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
Just the defensive side of his game has me concerned. I've got no questions about him going forward. But I kind of feel like if Robertson's going to get consistent minutes, I feel like there might be a narrative about him being like, well, we just concede too many chances down that side. I've gone for Archie Gray. I actually went for Archie Gray last season as well, and he ended up getting our player of the year. But I would have gone for Bergvall, but I think we're going to sell him. So I couldn't go for Bergvall, so I had to go for Archie Gray. Another player who I was thinking of is Marcus Senesi. But I landed on Gray because I feel like it's going to surprise a few people about how much he actually plays this season, and I think the quality of his play as well. I've been looking at him in pre-season. I think he's bulked up a lot. I think he's obviously had a captaincy role, which shows you where the manager thinks of him right now. And I think Archie Gray is going to have another really good season for Spurs, and I think he's going to get a lot better than what he was last season. I think you'll see him in right back. I think you'll see him in centre mid, and I think he'll play a real significant part of our season this year.
Yeah, I think I think Gray's got a big part to play. I don't know how much we're going to see him in central midfield. That's the only thing. Hopefully, he gets some significant minutes. We could be seeing him a lot at right back this season. I think, I don't know. I don't know whether he's going to surprise anyone or not. I think we all know he's a good talent, but maybe this is the season he really established himself as a real part of the first team, but a real part of the starting 11. But let's see. Next up, it's most improved. You've got that one wrong. Yeah, he needs to flip them over.
Who do you think, guys, are going to be the most improved player for Tottenham this season? I don't think you guys are going to agree too much with Sims. But Sim has gone for Dominic Solanke to be Spurs' most improved player this season.
Yep. I think that he's going to get back fit. He's already back in training. For some reason, everyone just, I don't know, it's a thing now. Everyone's hating on Solanke for whatever reason. They don't like
said it
him.
yourself. Why?
Yeah, but I think a lot of the players that were injured for the last 7 games have basically never. Look, everyone hated everyone last season, right? Everyone was hating the whole squad. Everyone was coming under fire. And then there were players in the last 7 games that got that little bit of redemption because they saved themselves. We played really well. And there are players who didn't play in those games, like Romero, like Solanke as well, who didn't really get that redemption, right? To show that whether they care or whether they're good enough and all those players. And those players still kind of hold the ire a lot of the fans, I feel, because they didn't get that redemption for the last 7 games. I think Solanke's a good striker. I think he's gonna be our number 1 striker. If both Richarlison and him stay, it tells me, it's not a surprise to me that he started the first couple games under De Zerbi when De Zerbi first came, because I think he rates him higher than Rishi. And I think he's going to start to show the levels of when he first came. And I think people are going to start to see De Zerbi Solanke in a different light. And in fact, the game he played, the one game he did play against Brighton, I thought he was really good in that game under De Zerbi. And I think if we can start seeing that Solanke under De Zerbi, and De Zerbi is known for getting more out of players, getting them more passionate. And if he doesn't show it, he won't be in the team. But I think he will. And I think a lot of people are going to start seeing Solanke in a different light this season.
I've gone for
if he can stay fit, that is.
I've gone for Matty's Tell. Like, if I'm going for Matty's Tell as Young Player of the Season, that would be a massive improvement to what we saw last season and also the season before. So I think if you're going for Matty's Tell for Young Player of the Season, you have to go for him as most improved player. You have to. So Matty's Tell to be our most improved player. It's just a simple explanation, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. What's next? Next flop of the season. We've both gone for the same player here. Can you guess who we have gone for flop of the season? And who do you think who's your flop of the season? Do let us know in the comment section. So we have gone both for Kevin Danso. I mentioned it on the Tottenham update before. I do think he's a bit of an odd one out right now, the most undeserved player that we've got. I think, he was good last season, had a good season last year. But with the way that we're going to play football this year, playing out the back, he's just not suited to it whatsoever. And I like Danso. I really do like Danso. I stuck up for him a lot last season. We've had so many kind of debates and conversations about him. But going into this season with the way that we're going to play and taking our game onto a next level, I just think Danso might be found out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you're going to see the difference if Van Hecker's rotated or whatever and Danso's coming in, the difference is going to be stark. And I know he did a great job for us. He's one of those players in a relegation battle, you wouldn't mind him on your team. But when we're trying to do things differently this season, I think he's going to be found wanting a bit.
Did you have any other names that you were toying around with?
Gallagher, yeah. Gallagher was in my mind. Anyone else that I was toying with for flop of the season? Not really. I'm in my mind. I was thinking maybe a doggy if he continues to be injured like all the time. But not really. I'm looking at the squad. I couldn't really pick someone out who I think is definitely not going to have a good season.
The other player that I was toying with was Solanke. I'm just not sold on Solanke whatsoever. I need to be proved that he's still got the fire in his eyes and the fire in his belly to go and compete for Tottenham and go and have a good season. So I was thinking Solanke, but I just landed on Danso just purely out of the profile fit of the team. Best signing of the summer. Obviously, this could change because we've still got business to do. But we've both gone for the midfield duo. You've gone for Tonali. I've gone for Mateus Fernandes. With Mateus, I think this guy is going to be levels this season. I really do. And I think a lot of people around the Premier League, a lot of fans around the Premier League are talking about Mateus Fernandes, how we've overpaid, how he's an average. I'm seeing people saying he's an average player, he's this, he's that. I think what he is going to contribute to this team is going to be absolutely phenomenal. It really is. With his passing ability, with his aggression, I think him and Tonali are going to work so well together, and it will be a close call between who's going to be the best signing between him and Tonali. But I just think like he's just got that bit more swagger than Tonali, and I think he's going to be more noticeable, his good displays, than Alessandro Tonali. So I think Fernandes is going to be looked back on as our best signing of the summer.
Yeah, I think I just sided with Tonali. I think Fernandes long term might turn out to be the better player. I just feel like for this season, when we look back at the season and think about who's kind of just made a massive impact in central midfield, who's kind of allowed us to control games and made sure we're not getting counter-attacked and been so reliable every time. I think Tonali and his experience might just take the cake, but I kind of feel like Fernandes long term is going to be seen as like a much better midfielder and a much better player. I just feel like Tonali might be our best signing just for this season.
Breakout star. Who do you think in the comment section is going to be our breakout star of the season? Sim's gone for Antonin Kinski. I've gone for Williams Barnett. I mean, is Kinski really a breakout star? He goes into the season as our number one.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of questions. Like at the back end of last season, no one was certain he was going to be our number one. Like, and he was even.
I was advocating for it.
I understand that, but even at points, people were saying, you know, his career was done at Tottenham. I think this is the season he establishes himself properly as our number one keeper. I think there's, as much as he's our number one right now, and he's had a really good pre-season, there is still obviously questions whether he's going to be our number one long term. And I think this is a season he truly establishes himself as our keeper for the foreseeable future. So, yeah, I went for Antonin Kinski.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I was just trying to find a player who was just not involved last season, who's going to break in to the first team this season. So that's why I've kind of landed on Williams Barnett. He's had a kind of breakout pre-season at Spurs this year. I do think he's going to be involved in the first team. I do think he's going to impress. I don't think he's going to be starting every game, or I don't think he's going to start many games, but I think he could have an impact off the bench when he does play. So I was thinking that maybe Mikey Moore if he stays around, but I do think Mikey's going to end up going out on loan. So I've gone for Williams Barnett, and I think he's just
phenomenal.
What a talent that we've got on our hands with Williams Barnett. Top goal scorer. I've kind of cheated a little bit on this one. First of all, Sim's gone for Dominic Solanke. How many goals do you reckon he'll get this season?
I think he'll get somewhere like 13 or 14.
13 or 14. And that's going to be, yeah. So I've gone for Cody Gakpo. If we'd signed Cody Gakpo, I think it'll be him. If it's not, then I think it'll be Richarlison. I think Richarlison, obviously a proven goal scorer, was our top goal scorer last season. And I think if we do sign the players that we're thinking of, like Savinho and Kudus on the wings, then the strikers will get chances. No doubt about it. So I think Richarlison, if we don't sign Gakpo. But I think Gakpo, in a Spurs shirt, will score more, a significant amount next season. So, yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same kind of tally between 11 and 14 goals, around something that kind of ballpark figure.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, I'm the one who said Richarlison last season would be top goal scorer.
And I said Solanke last season.
And I've changed my mind because last season, obviously, I kind of said Richie because we knew, well, going into the season, we knew Solanke had big problems with his injury, whatever it was, and big ankle problems, and he obviously ended up missing 6 months. So I was thinking if Richie's going to get the nod, then he'll probably end up being top goal scorer. Now Solanke is back in training. I think if fully fit, if both of them are here as our nines, I think Solanke more often than not is going to get the nod. I think he's going to be our starting striker. So if he is, and we can get him the chances, if we do get a Savinho, if Kudus stays fit, I think there's going to be more than enough chances for Solanke to score. And we know if you put him in front of goal, when across the ball in the box, he can score goals. We've seen it. And I think he's just got a better overall game than Richarlison. Now, I think Rishi's a better finisher. I think De Zerbi will prefer Solanke more often than not if they're both fit. So that's why I've gone Solanke.
I'm just not convinced Solanke's going to stay fit this season. And I do think one of these are going to go before the end of the window.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Solanke. I just there's not really any talk of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's not real talk of Richarlison either, really.
But he's the only one linked with an exit at the moment.
Kind of like tentative links, but nothing serious, is it?
Well, there's bids from Everton, apparently. There's all this kind of stuff.
That's true.
Well, that's the reports.
Yeah.
You can say without any link, but He's the one there's most talk about. I mean, even what De Zerbi said, he doesn't know if he's staying or going, all that kind of stuff. That doesn't sound like a play he's 100% certain is staying. With Solanke, there wasn't that much talk about him leaving at all, really. There's not really been any talk of it.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to leave. I also think I think we probably command a higher fee for Solanke.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be here. I'm pretty sure if we sell one, it will be Rishi. So, look, if we do sell one, I'm assuming someone's going to come in and hopefully take Solanke's place, and whoever that would be, hopefully will be top goal scorer. Yeah. But I've got a feeling they both might be here. So
yeah, if we do bring in a number 9, he's going to be our top goal scorer, whoever it is.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But I think I'm basing on the fact it's going to be Rishi and Solanke. Do you think if both of them are here, he's going to prefer Rishi?
I think... yeah, I do actually, because I just think Richie is a better source for goals. But I just question Solanke being able to even stay fit. I really do. I mean, Richarlison proved his fitness last season. He proved that he was able to stay fit for the majority of the season. It's kind of like we all talk about Richarlison and his injury problems. Mm-hmm. But Solanke's had kind of worse injury problems in the last 2 years than, it's comparable to Richarlison's over the, 2 out of the last 3 years.
I wouldn't say it's worse because Rishi only played 4 games 2 seasons ago. But last season, Solanke had horrible problems. Solanke's had horrible problems, no doubt about it. But the weird thing is, the 4 seasons before Tottenham, he only missed 5 games for injury collectively, which is crazy.
And Richarlison, before he joined Tottenham, didn't miss many games either.
Yeah, but it's not. He never played all 38 games in a season. I mean, that's great. I mean, Solanke was known as very durable. Now, there has been big problems with Tottenham. Let's hope he can get over them. Look, if Rishi can get over them, why can't Solanke?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But Playmaker, top assister of the season. Who do you think it will be in the comment section? Sim has gone for Mohamed Kudus. I've gone for James Maddison.
I was toying with Porro, potentially. Obviously, I think might be Savinho if he comes, to be honest. But they're not there. Porro... I just sided with Kudus. I think if Kudus comes back fit, I think the way he's going to play under De Zerbi, I think he's going to be creating so many chances and he's going to be such a tough to handle. Obviously, he was getting a lot of assists last season before, obviously, he got injured. Someone in the comments makes a good point. Like Fernandes might be taking set pieces potentially, so I think he could be getting a lot of assists. Robertson as well. He was on my mind. But just because he's a fullback, I just sided with Kudus. I think once he gets back fit, I think he's going to be a bit of a chance-creating machine.
Yeah. So I was toying between Maddison, Pedro Porro, and Savinho. Savinho definitely was in my mind, but I landed on Maddison, and exactly for the reasons I said why he's going to be our player of the season. I think it's going to be a hard first 3 months of the season for him, but once he clicks into gear towards the back end of 2026, early stages of 2027, I think this guy's going to be unstoppable. I think he is dying to get back onto the pitch. I think he's chomping at the bit. I think once he gets into the team and once we start starting every week, this guy is going to be a chance creation machine. He's going to be the hub of the team, and he'll probably be on set pieces when he comes back as well. So I've gone for James Maddison as top assister. Sim's gone for Mohamed Kudus, and these are our predictions in full. So player of the season, Sim has gone for Tonali, I've gone for Maddison. Young player of the season, we've both gone for Tell. Surprise package, Sim's gone for Robertson, I've gone for Archie Gray. Most improved, Sim's gone for Solanke, I've gone for Matisse Tell. Flop, we've both gone for Danso. Best signing, Sim's gone for Tonali, I've gone for Fernandes. Breakout star, Sim has gone for Kinski, I've gone for Luca Williams Barnett. Golden boot, Sim's gone for Solanke, I've gone for Gakpo. If we don't sign him, then Richarlison. And top assister, Sim's gone for Kudus, and I have gone for James Maddison. I want to know your predictions in the comment section below. We are only a few days away now from the big kickoff in the Premier League against Brentford, 5:30 kickoff on Saturday.